back to my channel. This is Sanya Alwalia. Today I'll be showing a quick tutorial on how to use spray paints on MDF boards or furniture. I've been using these spray paints I think since almost 1 year now, and I've seen results are pretty amazing. I'll show you what all I have painted using those spray paints. So this project is all about creating a nameplate, and the base is going to be completely black, and since the base is bigger than what I usually work on, so that's what we have decided, that we'll go with the spray paints because it's very handy. It's a little tricky to use it, but we have noticed that the chances of messing it up is a little less compared to using a brush with the acrylic paint. So these paints are basically acrylic paints itself. This is my spray paint. We got it from a local shop. You can also find it on any of the paint shops that you come across, and it's acrylic spray paint only. And this is the board that I'm going to work upon. It's 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters, and I usually work on smaller boards for like wall hangings and all. This is going to be for a parlor, so that's why it's a little big. Also, it has a frame which is a wooden frame. We got it customized through a carpenter, and this board is actually bought from a local shop, and I'll show you all the elements as we complete this whole project in this whole video. So let's get started. So the first things first, you have to have open area to use spray paints because it's very strong smelling. You need to really have some open space so that the smell can dissipate very fast. Make sure that you, if possible, use some gloves and mask handy. What else? Don't keep your pets around, or maybe your plants. Just avoid as much as possible. I am surrounded with plants, but I'm trying to make sure that these plants are a little away where I'm going to paint. Also, you have to make sure that your floor on which you're going to put this piece is covered, because the spray is going to go a little messy around the floor. So just make sure you are covering your floor with the help of newspapers. As you can see, I already have placed newspaper which is bigger size than this board. I'm going to keep this in the center of the newspaper, and then I will start with directly using this spray paint because I don't need an underpainting here, because it does a really great job without any underpainting. And also it's a black paint, we can do a lot of coats. So step number 1 is to ensure that you are going to shake it a lot. Keep shaking. So this is supposed to happen only for the first time you're going to use this paint. But after you are spray painting it, you can just in between keep shaking it, because the color may fade. So that's the trick of using spray paints. I think it's sufficient now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from one corner, I'll go to the other corner, and so on. But I'm going to make sure that I'm only doing it one at a time, one line at a time, and then go on and repeat it throughout the board. Also, when I'm going to start from here till an inch or two here. Why? Because I don't want to leave any border or any patches around the edges. So let's start. I'll also use some gloves and mask. I do have my face and my hands protected. So let's start now. Keep shaking in between. This color can go a little dull. You don't have to worry that I've left a few patches here. All you have to ensure is just leave it for 1 minute and then do a recoating, and make sure that you're covering all the empty spaces again, and keep shaking. And since I did not have primer, I had to do multiple layers of spray painting. However, if you can just do one layer of primer, that will be more than enough, and it will give it an even finish, and you'll use your spray less. And if you see anything like this happening, just make sure to use a cotton swab and just remove it, because it might ruin your project. It's better to keep the spray as clean as possible. Also, make sure you're covering the edges the same number of time you are applying the spray over the board, so that it looks all even. And the next part is to use the MDF cutouts for the name. So this is for a parlor, as I told you. I got this customized through an Instagram store, and I'm going to spray paint it silver. We have already decided the color combination and scheme, and since it's a group project, it's not an individual project, so we agreed upon these colors. The third step is to use a circular board over which we are going to place MDF cutouts. It's completely optional. Of course, the whole project is optional. However, this is a good way to start any of the, I think, small business. If you want to, you can start with small MDF cutouts and start creating your nameplates, or maybe for other people around you, and then see what else you can do, or maybe just get more creative and sell out more. Talk to local shops around the city, and then see how your work comes out. And I'm just painting using acrylic colors and synthetic brush my circular board, and I've already shared a tutorial on how we can do that. Now my circular board is ready, my MDF cutouts are ready, and my basic board is ready. The floral painting which is done is by another friend of mine. She's a great artist. Her name is Shivangi, and she also has a YouTube channel which is Shivangi Art Studio. I'll link it in the description down below. And for now, since this tutorial was basically to figure out, or maybe just to tell how to correctly use the spray paint, so I'm going to keep it to that. Next thing that I'm going to use here is varnish, which, as you have seen, I've also explained that in my last video. I'll also link that down below. And after I put my varnish, I'm going to dry it quickly with the help of a dryer, and that is all I have to do. I'll be using Fevicol to paste my MDF circular board over it. I'll also be using a few hooks to make sure that it hangs successfully over the wall. And for the hooks, I'll be using Bosch drilling machine. I'll link everything down below. You can just check that section out. And the old video will have all the tutorial related to how to use a drilling machine. Also will have, or how I paint the basic MDF board, the basic techniques. Now the key thing which I wanted to let you know, that these MDF cutouts are easily available in the market. You can ping anybody which has MDF Craftworks or MDF Artworks, something like that kind of a name, who are making MDF cutouts, and you can just let them know your requirements. They can definitely and easily customize stuff for you, because it's machine cutting. Also, they'll not charge very high over it, so you don't have to worry about the cost. In the next video, I'll be letting you all know how much I've actually spent on this whole project, and how much you can actually charge for this kind of project, and how long did it take for me or my friend to cover this whole thing. And I really hope you liked watching this video. Thank you for watching.